Hi, CASEA and CASEA friends. Wherever you are, welcome to the Profit from Mistakes show, powered by CASEA Dialogue. I'm Vincent Chia, your CASEA host. This show, the Profit from Mistake, is all about learning from mistakes from our CASEA loggers, seasoned entrepreneur, business owner, business expert, so that we can avoid doing the same mistakes in our personal life and our business life.
Hi, CASEA and CASEA friends, wherever you are. I'm Rudy Fang, also your CASEA host. This show, Profit from Mistake, is a franchise show powered by CASEA Dialogue by CASEA-BC.
This is the 5th episode, and we are very happy to have our CASEA logger here with us, Mr. Kenneth Tan. Please give him a great welcome applause.
Mr. Kenneth Tan C.L. is a Singapore citizen. Kenneth is water specialist trained by qualified water specialists in Japan. He is also a researcher from a Japanese water research group that specializes in water engineering and water chemistry. He has been in the water industry since 2009 and specializes in water chemistry and water formulation. As a water chemist, Kenneth works with companies in the food and beverages and skincare industries to formulate specific type of water, natural spring water for these companies' products. There are also projects whereby Kenneth provides consultancy for agriculture, aquaponic, fishery, and also water treatment industry. Let's now learn from Mr. Kenneth Tan.
Hi, Kenneth. Let's start by getting to know you better. Would you mind telling us a little bit about your personal background, please?
Thanks, Vincent. Hi, CASEAs and CASEA friends. My name is Kenneth. I'm actually a water specialist. I'm 42 this year and I'm a Peranakan by heritage. I'm from my father's side of family that are Peranakans that is more than 300 years old, and we are actually based in Malaysia, in Malacca. According to our lineage, we are actually directly descended from the Emerald Cheng Ho from the Ming Dynasty. I've traveled around the world. I've even stayed in Papua New Guinea for some while. I have also learned about business from my dad since I was as young as about 13 to 14 years old. So when I was about 30 years old, I decided to venture into my own business. And after 12 years, I'm here as a business owner, sharing more about how to develop business with everyone here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Kenneth. That's very interesting and important family background indeed. Yeah? I'm sure that CASEA and CASEA friends here would like to know a little bit more about your past too. What was the most memorable thing or happening during your childhood or before your adulthood that you would remember all your life?
Thanks, Rudy. Now, as Peranakan, we have very strict and very unique traditional cultures. So when I was during my younger days, I remember that my dad used to bring me to Malaysia when my grandparents and family, my relative were actually living in kampung, which means that it's actually away from the city. Now, when I was younger, around 14 years old, I remember that I was just in secondary school. So before Chinese New Year, we will apply early for leave, travel to Malaysia. There, the culture is a lot different. We have our tradition, but the most memorable thing is that we were able to see fireworks. Because in Singapore, when we were young, it was really banned in Singapore. So we only were able to enjoy the nice display and also have the opportunity to have the first hand to engage and play with fireworks. So it was always memorable, and till today, I still remember the scene exactly. Thanks.
Yeah, I can imagine that your childhood was very lively and memorable. Let's talk about your business. What made you started this business that you're currently running? Was there any specific reason or happening that made you decide as such?
Thanks, Vincent. Now, that question has always occurred. From when I started business, a lot of people has asked me, what makes you decide to go into the water business? Now, it's a very interesting story. In 2008, my father was suffering from multiple stroke. He was stationed in Papua New Guinea for 10 over years. He was doing business there. I travel up and down learning from him. But one day I received a phone call from his friend, and I was told that my father had suffered multiple stroke. There was a delay in medical treatment. He was not able to get the right treatment help in Papua New Guinea. By the time when he returned back to Singapore, I went to fetch him 3 months after he had suffered from a stroke. So I brought him back. When I brought him back, I brought him to the hospital to have the checkup done to let the doctor see what could be done. The doctors told me there is very little chance of recovery, and that during that point of time, he was really half paralyzed. We are having issues and problems that how do we help him, because we can. He was only 55 years old, and there was no way to help until a close friend of the family actually came to me and says, look, I have, in Japan, there is a technology and a method of using water therapy to help patient. Would you like to try? He gave the first water filtration system to me from Japan and installed in the house. That was when it begins. I saw the recovery after 1 year, and it was amazing. What doctor has given up, water has helped. That was what helped me started into learning about water industry. Then I found out that actually it is a lot of in-depth knowledge. There's medical that is about F&B, formulation, skincare. It's a whole industry on its own. And we are just only touching on a very small area only. That is how I started.
I see. So Kenneth, you started the water business as personal and family experience. That was really a good start. Yeah. Hi CASEA and CASEA friends, wherever you are, who just joining us. Welcome to the Profit from Mistakes show, powered by CASEA Dialogue. This show is all about learning from mistakes from our CASEA logger, seasoned entrepreneurs, business owners, business experts, so that we can avoid doing the same mistakes in our personal life and also our business life. Let's get back to our CASEA logger, Mr. Kenneth Tan.
Hey, hi Kenneth. When did you start this business?
No, I was in 2008 and 2009, I was in Papua New Guinea. By 2010, late 2009, at the end of 2009, I came back from Papua New Guinea. I was alone, no business, no contact. So that was the time when I started my business, because I didn't know what to do. And I saw the recovery of my father when he was drinking the miracle water that he has. And then that was what made me started. So in 2009, somewhere in November and between October, November, and December, I actually started the business. But I was just only at the beginning. The actual time when it was started was in 2010. In 2010 was when I actually went full-time into the business.
Starting own business is difficult for most people. How was your experience then? What was difficult at the time?
Thank you for asking. Now, when I started business, I just returned back from overseas. I had never started a business alone. I had very little fund. I had no connection, no idea how to start. During the past 12 years, there was two common challenge that I face is that I have to manage rejection. No, when you run a business, you have to meet a lot of people. You are new. You have something that is new in the market. So you tend to be rejected. In fact, if you meet 100 people you will face 99 rejection. Only when you have experience in business, you go through trials and error, then can you manage, you can succeed, or your success rate will be increased. But you have to manage the rejection. Otherwise, most people, when they get rejected, they will give up very easily. Second is actually how you stand up at the fall. Along the line in the journey, 12 years, you do face failure, you face a lot of challenge and difficulty. There are times in the last 12 years where I went back to zero, sometimes rock bottom. And then you will just have to wake up the next day and say, I can't let this continue. I need to stand up. I need to pick myself up and start something. You need to learn how to stand up when you fall. You have to start from somewhere and move forward. That is what we can only do.
Managing rejections and standing up after falling, those are the indeed difficult challenges to face. I'm sure that many of us here agree. Now that you have been running business for years, would you mind sharing it to our CASEA and CASEA friends? What kind of mistakes that you did when you were building the business in the past that you hope that you did not do so?
Now, this is very interesting because in business, we actually make a lot of mistakes. In fact, we make mistake every day. But sometimes you wish that you would have avoided that mistake. It will save you a lot of wasted journey, wasted time, wasted effort. The one thing that reached out to me that make me always remember is from starting my business to managing the business and growing the business. Like all business owner, we have one common thing is overconfidence. We tend not to listen to good advice. Because the thing is this, when we mature in the business, as when we mature, we get more experience. We always feel that I know things better than anyone else. We tend to get overconfident. So we tend to miss out on good advice. So when someone tells you a good advice, we will only go in only when we are selective. So that is always a failure. A lot of business owners always face the thing. We have to be wise to know how to select the information and how to decide which is a better information for our clients. So the important thing is that we need to listen to good advice.
I see. So not listening to good advice, yeah? Wow. I think it is an obvious mistake, isn't it? But many of us, as you said, do that again and again, yeah? CASEA friend and CASEA, wherever you are, we are at the end of the chat today. Kenneth, we would like you to help our CASEA and CASEA friends in their personal life and also their business life. What are the 3 things that you would suggest us to do or not to do? There could be a learning from your personal life or probably from your business life.
Thanks, Rudy. Now this is going to be a bit embarrassing. Like giving a good advice, many business owners would have given different type of advice. Some we might be the same. There might be 1 or 2 points that are the same, but we might also have some that is different. So on my point of perspective, where I started from ground zero, we had nothing to start with. So what I will give a few advices as when you're growing, you're working on a journey, especially when you're alone. These are some of the things. Firstly, if you are alone, you're starting a new business, find a good mentor that can guide you or give you good advice. Many of us started business not listening to good advice, as I mentioned earlier. So we must find a mentor and we must trust him or her, and we must actually really listen to what they say because they have the experience, they have gone through the journey. So finding a mentor to give you good advice and guide you is important. That's the startup. Number 2, is when you progress in a journey, the second part is you must never be overconfident. Sometimes stubbornness and arrogance will destroy us. Imagine there are people who have IQ, you have EQ. You know, there's a in the last 10 years there is a new saying that there's SQ. It means that IQ and EQ add up together. You need to be smart, you need to be intelligent, but you also need to manage people's expectation. You need to take care of people's feeling. You must handle it diplomatically and tactfully. So we need to we cannot be overconfident. So we must always be conscious of what we are doing, especially when we are handling people. So never be overconfident. The third and final one that is something that is a personal experience. Maybe some business owner might not face it, but there are many business owner. I'm sure that it is always there because my mentor used to tell me, as a CEO, as a managing director, as a head of company, a team leader, we are always very lonely because when things goes well, everybody will work together hand in hand. But as a leader in your business, in your company, the journey is always very lonely because when things does happen, they will turn to you for advice. It means that you need to make tough decisions. You need to make not only tough decision, but also you have to make decisions that might go against many of your belief. You have to be very clear and no one will actually support you. Whatever decision you make, you will not be able to please anyone. So the last advice or suggestion is get used to doing business alone, and you will get because when you are lonely, you have no one to turn to. You only have to seek yourself internally and get used to it. So I hope that these 3 suggestions can give our listeners from the CASEA and CASEA's friends that these are things that they experience or they could possibly bear in mind when they are starting a business, especially to new entrepreneurs. Now there are many entrepreneurs. Hope that we can give them the good advice that they need. Yeah, I hope I answered this question.
Yeah, thanks a lot for fantastic sharing, Kenneth. CASEA and CASEA friends, today we learn from Kenneth on what to do in business life. 5 good mentor, never be stubborn or arrogant, get used to loneliness in business life.
We hope that all of us can also learn from Mr. Kenneth Tan on his mistake that he shared with us earlier, not listening to good advice. Let's not repeat the same mistake in our businesses and our personal life. So thank you, Kenneth, for being here with us and sharing your experience in the Profit from Mistakes show, powered by CASEA Dialogue.
Thank you, Kenneth,
you,
for today's
Vince.
discussion. Yeah, and thank you to all CASEA and CASEA friends for joining us on this discussion here. See you in the next episode of the Profit from Mistakes show. We'll see Mr. Kenneth Tan one more time in subsequent episode. Stay tuned. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.